What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Understanding Podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Moore, and we are back with another episode. That don't never get shorter. It never gets shorter. I keep saying I'm going to save it to like my little mix box. If I don't have to say it, I just got to push a button and do it. But it's technology and I ain't good at working. With that being said, I hope everybody is having a good day. It's midweek when I drop my episode, so it's hump day. I hope everybody had a good start to their week, and then y'all get a little dose of me, and y'all have a great day to the end of y'all week. But without further ado, we're going to get started with this episode. My bad, I got a drink. We're going to get started with this episode. I had a good conversation. I had a great conversation with somebody today. And I talked to him over Snapchat. Even though like people be like, Snapchat don't be getting used like that, a lot of my feedback, good or bad, it comes from Snapchat. Like I don't get a lot of people leaving comments on YouTube. I guess Instagram, I get a couple DMs, but Snapchat, like me posting my videos or like whenever I drop a new episode, I send it to everybody that I have on Snapchat. I send it to every group that I done been added to on Snapchat. So I get like a lot of feedback. And I had a good conversation over text messages because it's Snap. Like I don't even know what the person I look like was talking to. But I told them like they had started listening to my little podcast and everything. And they asked me like what made me start my podcast. And people who've been on my podcast or been fans of it, y'all know like my brother got diagnosed with cancer, my granny got paralyzed. And I told him, like, that's what made me start it. That's what made me start my podcast. But what made me keep my podcast going was the understanding that we all die. And we say it, like they say, like, we all know we all die. But you don't know what chapter you going to die on. Because people be like, life is a book and you got to write it. You don't know what chapter you going to die on. But I look at it like this. I look at it like life is a movie. And you don't know what scene you going to die on. You don't know what scene you'll die on, but you know, like, plot twist, no matter how you want your movie to end. And even if you want to look at it, because they said, like, do you feel like you could live different types of movies in one lifetime? I mean, you can have a romantic movie. You can have an action-packed movie. But in the context of how I said with life, it's continuous. Because it's not like we take a pause. You know, there's no pause, there's no breaks, even if you live it in seasons or not. Like, it's continuous. Your age is gonna continue to go up, right? So I just say like plot twist, we all die. And I told this young lady like, and this is just my advice. I don't know her name. It was dope. She told me that she listened to me at work. I helped her get through her day. I really appreciate that. So shout out to you. I wish I would have got your name, and I wish I could look it up right now. But I'm also going live on Facebook. So I'm gonna shout you out though. Matter of fact, I'll put you in the comments whenever I post this video. But, like, I told her, like, I learned to not let nobody be a director over my life. And it's funny that, and like I say, the conversations that I have with people, it come at weird times, but it always come at the best times. So, like, I just graduated school. For those people that's not in the service, I graduated ALC, Advanced Leader Course for the Army. It's another step forward to get into the next rank, right? And as soon as I came back from school, you know, in the Army, you got a bunch of supervisors. You got a bunch of supervisors. You got people telling you how you should live your life. And like I say, I feel I'm already an assistant director because my faith in what I believe in, like I always say, everybody don't have to believe in what I believe in. I believe in Jesus Christ. So he is the director of my movie. He knows everything before I know. And I'm the assistant director. So it's no more room for no more directors. He the writer, he the director, and I'm the writing assistant director. So there's no more room for nobody else to be trying to control what goes on in my movie. And I had a conversation with this lady. She was like, well, you know, you might leave here as a, you know, E5, you know, what you want to do, this, that, and the third. Like, you can't keep saying that you want to do this and that, or you leaning towards the fence. And I looked this woman in the face and I told her, like, I don't want to do none of that. Truthfully being told, I don't want to do none of that. I don't know what I want to do right now. But sometimes like the first thing that happens in the military, people tell you like how fast they progress to the next rank. And it's exactly the conversation. Like I told this chick all this, right? And I told her like even sitting there talking to that lady, it's funny when I talk to people because it'd be like, I'm happy and I'm excited that you feel good about the way that your movie is going. But that's not my movie. Like if I was to die tomorrow and God say I'm gonna send you back down, I'm not gonna be up there thinking about, dang, I didn't make E6. I'm not gonna be sitting up there thinking like, dang, I left this job as an E5 and I came as a specialist promoter. It's not what I'm gonna be thinking. And my biggest thing when I started my podcast was to remind people that they have a voice and they have power over their choices, right? So I'm sitting up there and like I said, we're having this conversation and it's like, how is it that people feel so comfortable with giving their opinion over your life? They so comfortable with getting it, but they get offended when you don't want to take it. And it comes off as you not listening, and it comes off that they feel like they know best because they feel like they somewhere where you want to be. And this young lady sharing me, the lady that's in charge of me, not the lady I was talking to on Snapchat, she was saying that like, well, I done have family members with cancer. I don't give a damn. But, like I said, I'm listening. And she said, my father passed before I came in the service and I was gone. And I looked in her face and I told her, like, that's good for you, but I have already came to the conclusion that I don't want that. And this is how I look at it with being in the service and life in general. What I say, like, life is full of decisions, right? And you have to be comfortable with the decisions that you make. I watch people go through divorces. I watch people go through hard times. I watch people go through injuries. And just like we all do, life is still going to go on. Regardless of what happens to you, life is going to go on. Even if you feel like your movie scene or your set is standing still, right? So when the lady tell me this and I tell her, like, I'm not comfortable with that. Because I'm not comfortable being away from my father when he passes or being so far or it's so hectic. Because like I say, I got a bad taste in my mouth with how it was handled with just me getting home to see my brother and my grandmother. I'm not okay with being so far away or giving my all to an organization that I know that I'm just a number in. Don't get me wrong, like you meet cool people and you get to interact with some cool people and you build these relationships. But the organization itself, like you just another body. And it's not in a bad way, like life is what you make it, right? But I just would never understand somebody telling me how I'm supposed to run my movie. When it's plot twists, we all die. And even for people, like it's even for y'all. Like we already know that we die in life, right? But the stuff that people get caught up on, you might got a job that you hate, and every day you go to work talking about something negative. If you die, and whoever you believe in say, I'm gonna give you another chance at this life thing. Half of the stuff that you was crying and complaining about, you're not gonna be worried about when they send you back down. You're not gonna be sitting up there like, damn, I'm mad that Sarah always call in to work. Oh, I'm mad that Keisha always says she got to pick her kids up from daycare. Or I'm mad that this person didn't do this. Or I hate the fact that I'm still driving this car. You're not going to be worried about that stuff. Somebody be like, all right, look, your movie ended, you dead, but I'm going to give you another chance. Or I'm going to give you another chance at life. And we going to start it. That movie was a bust. We going to start this movie over. So that episode, while I was talking to that chick, this episode popped into my head like, plot twist, we all die. And the whole gist of this episode is just, and I repeat the same, I feel like this lesson that I try to convey to y'all is echoed throughout all of my podcasts. And it's for the reason that I really believe it. Like, you have control over your life. The moment that you give somebody else control over their life, I feel like, and like I say, it's my opinion, the moment you start becoming less happy with what you have going on in your world, it's your movie. And whoever you believe in, like I said, I'm the assistant director. Jesus run the show. I'm just here for the ride. I feel like he gave me a choice, right? So I feel like I'm able to do a little bit. But it's already laid out to what's going to happen to me. No matter if I go out and I die tomorrow or I live until I'm 80, 90 years old, it's already written out. And that truthfully, we have no control over it. So as an assistant director, you know what I have control over? What I want to do in my life. So I sit up there and like I say, like, it's cool. I'm talking to this lady and she says that about her father passing when she came into the service and you was gone and it did whatever to you. And you say, she told me, she was like, you can't stop yourself because of your family. Like, I throw myself into my work. I'm not saying that you have to. And I sit, and like I say, like, in the service, it's supervisor on supervisor. And everybody feel like they have an opinion in your life in the way that they want you to work. But I'm only 25 years old. And at this point in my life, watching my grandmother go through this situation. My grandmother was 73, 74 when she got sick. Watching my brother go through his situation. He was 22, 23 when he got diagnosed with cancer. Big age gap, right? The only thing both of them people have in common is when they got sick, they said, I'm going to live my life. Besides like the ailments and the ill, I'm just talking about the age gaps in between. Like I said, you could die at this age or you could live until you old and gray. Some people some people never made it to my brother age. Some people is not going to live long enough to make it to my granny age. But both of them people tell me the same thing. I'm going to live my life. I tell my little brother, like, don't you think you should eat this? Don't you think, like, maybe you should stop doing that? I'm going to die one day. I want to live my life. Hey, granny, how you feel about this? Like, why you steady trying to do this and do that? I want to live my life. And she always say, like, I don't regret nothing that I done did, but I'm just at the point where I want to live my life. So me, in the middle of these little situations, I came to that conclusion, like, I'm going to live my life. And I try to say it in a respectful way. I try to say it in a respectful way. I'm cool with taking people's advice. And it's okay with people giving their opinion. Like, I take it. But it is no way in the hell, not this hell, the next hell, or whatever hell that exists, that you gonna have power over how I live my life. Or you think that you gonna direct how I live my life. Because like I say, plot twist, we all die. Everybody dies. I done said it on the episode before. Everybody dies. Not a lot of people live. We all done heard that saying, right? Like, everybody dies. Some people just survive until they die, and then it's nothing. So for that woman to tell me, like, when a situation like that happened where she loses her father, or, you know, people get sick, she throw herself into her work. And my brain, that compute like, you fucking crazy. In the most respectful way that could come out, because I never throw my life into this job. I'd rather throw my life into the purpose. So like I said, when my people and them got sick, I started a podcast. The Army can't control it. Whether I get kicked out tomorrow, whether I, like I say, live to C26 or live to C76. This right here is something that I made. This is my mark on the world. It feel like it's passionate about it. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with people that throw their life into their work. But I'm just asking a serious question, like, plot twist, we all die, right? If you were to die tomorrow, you gonna be worried about a project at work not getting completed? And I'm being said, like, I know y'all can't answer back right now, but I just want y'all to sit and think about that. Like, you sit and you think to yourself. I was listening to this motivational speaker, and he was like, for 30 minutes out of the day, when he first wake up, he sits in silence for 30 minutes and he just thinks. He said it seems like it's not a big deal, but he was like, try to sit still for a minute. So if you sit there and you just think about your life, and you think about how much stuff you do for other people. In her mind, she said you can't operate around your family. But I'm just at the point where, like, my family means, and I'm not saying that, because your family go live their life, right? I'm not saying that you have to stop everything for your family. It's whatever that you believe in. Everybody's going to have an opinion on how they want you to live their life. And sometimes, like, I learned, 9 times out of 10 is just projection. So people want to feel comfortable with the decisions that they done made. So they going to tell you to do the same thing. And I told that lady, like, it don't take me to get to 39 and realize that I gave the Army 20 years of my life. And the moment that I hang them boots up, that's it. The accolades and the trophies that came with being in the service is not going to go away. Don't get me wrong. But it don't necessarily translate to any paper on the outside. And like I say, some jobs, they be ready to holler military. Some jobs is great. Like, because it's such a big thing in the service right now. Like, it's a competition. You're not competing with yourself. Your movie don't got shit to do with nobody else's movie. Because, like I say, plot twist, we all die. We don't know when we gonna die. Nobody knows when they're gonna pass. But it's like this competition. So you looking at it and you're like, okay, I throw my life into this work. You break your foot. You break your leg. You become blind, whatever. The moment that you become unuseful for the service, you are done. I'm going to be taken care of for the rest of my life. That's great. That's great, right? That's what they say. And one of the main rules that people teach you that have some money, you do not count money that you don't have. So you can sit there and you can retire. They're not giving you all that your retirement money up front. And even if you got a 401k or, like I said, we got Roth TSP, like most people in the service do, whatever, wherever they put their money at, they still not going to let you touch your money to a certain age. That, like I say, plot twist, you might not never fucking make it to. And I'm not saying don't plan for the future. Like, if you watch my shows, you know that is not what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like, take control of your movie. Take control of your set. Because a lot of time we get people in here and everybody want to be a writer. Everybody want to be a writer. Like, well, I'm directing, so I just tell what to do. And no, it's your show. You write it, you direct it, you shoot it, you the cameraman, you everything. It is your show. Nobody has the right to come in and tell you. And like everything is a suggestion, and that's fine. But it seems like sometimes people get mad when you don't take their advice. And like I said, life is choices. So at the end of the day, long as you okay with the choice that you make, you can wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? My life has been an action movie since I was a child. I'm finna make a romance. It's up to you on how you live your life. But like I always tell people, like, don't forget to live. If you checked out my episode, Life for Life, live your life in fear every day or live your life in faith every day. I told people to write it on the paper. People sent me pictures of them writing it on the paper. And like I said, my podcast is to remind people, like I said, I started my podcast. I felt like so many people was talking about things that didn't matter. It was entertaining. I wanted a podcast that touched people's soul, that touched people's mind, that made them think. Even if they disagreed with me, it made them think. Even though people say I listen to them at work, like, I hope I'm making you think. Still contributing and you know, you still contributing to your job and you getting what you need to on your job done. But I pray that I'm making you think. Because at the end of the day, my podcast, the whole purpose of it is to tell people, like I say, remind people, like, you got control and you're important. I never talk to people like they missing something. I always talk to people like, you are great and you could be doing better. I never use the potential word with people. Like, you already great. You already great. You got to start living in your purpose. Now, none, even the new pictures I got in the back, I have not seen Ross, Burlington, Marshalls, nothing. I ain't seen nothing. No motivational quote written on a canvas, a piece of paper at the beginning of a book that said, throw yourself into your work. Live your life in your work. I don't feel like it's nothing motivation. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying, like, if you sit and you say the way that you live your life out loud, like I said, that woman said that. And she said it. Like I said, she said, I'm not telling you to do it, but I throw myself into my work when stuff goes down, when things go wrong. I said I did that for 7 years. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do outside of high school. So everything after that was an accomplishment. I was like, dang. You telling me I should be I'm a great soldier. I should be. You see, I told her I'm tired of hearing I'm a great soldier. It's a lot of great soldiers that are shitty people. It's character. And not like I say, it's nothing against the service. I'm not saying I'm getting out the service. I'm thinking about it. But there's nothing wrong with the service. I just don't believe in any job. I've been doing the service since I was 18, just like a lot of people, right? So this is the only job that I know. I had a grocery store job and a clothing job, but this is the only job that I've known for 7 years. My grandmother worked at her job for like 50-something years, 40-something years or something like that. And it still ended the same. At the end of the day, like I say, there's no regrets. But she say, baby, live your life. Because when situations happen, you might not have a job to go back to. But that purpose, that drive, whatever moves you, I said it, my episode, your purpose is to live life, and it's however you want to do it. But I said live life, not exist in life. Your purpose is to live life, not exist in it. Like you got walls in this paint, and I got plants and heavy bags and pictures that exist inside of this room. And the moment I take them off the wall, they might exist inside of a box. They're not living. They just happen to be around. I feel like sometimes as humans, we forget that we on the top of the food chain, regardless. When you start comparing yourself with other people, they like, man, they doing better than me. They doing better than me. You worried about somebody else movie. You don't know when that movie go in. A lot of people do better than a lot of people until they dead. And like I say, I'm not saying this in a negative way. Like, none of my stuff is never to be negative. I try to not to use those words anymore, like I say. But it's to, I really try to, like, I hate motivation too. But I really try to change people's mindsets on the way they think about things. Because, like, it's a mindset, right? Like, the way that you see life, the way that you decide to view life and all that, it's a mindset. So this is the mindset that I have. I don't believe that it's cool to tell somebody throw them into their work. And don't get me wrong, like, you got some jobs that'll pay you for what you do. Like, and you still work on yourself. You make yourself better and you provide something for a job, they gonna pay you more, or you might elevate. If you win a job that's working the hell out of you, and the first thing they tell you is, we already pay you to do your job, you just doing your job, but you know you going above and beyond, go get another job. Because somebody going to pay you for that effort that you're doing. Stop letting people write in, or the people that you share a scene with, take over your movie like they the director. They not the damn director nor the writers. They just extras. Just like people you got in your life. What's a mature way to say it? I have shared some scenes in my movie with some beautiful people that I don't wish to never see again in life, right? But we done shared some great scenes together. And it was what it was, and now we moving on, right? I can't let that scene in that movie affect everything else down the line. Even if it was bad. Like, a lot of times we get so caught up in the negative, and the negative drives us. Or like a bad experience drives us, and you like, I don't, and I said it before, like, whatever drives you to go towards your purpose. Because I feel like a purpose and a goal is different, and this is why. This is why I feel like a goal in them. A goal, you could run to it. You get to a goal and you finish it. And if your goal is not connected to your purpose, it is an end. It's not, it's just an end. It's not a check on the block if your goal has nothing to do with your purpose. If your purpose, it's not a lot of people I meet in the service that say, my purpose is to make it to that third rank. I want to make it to this rank for the money. Like, I made a lot of people first, like, I want to make it to this rank because of the money. So I do these different little goals to get to this rank. Then I do it to get to this rank. And then eventually, guess what? Your rank go top out, and the amount of money you make gonna top out. And then what? People retire and they feel like, and I'm just saying, like, everybody's not like that. But you get people that retire and they be depressed. Or they be like, dang, I really just gave this job 20 years, 22 years, 23 years. My grandmother's case, 50, 40 years of her life, and you just like, that's it. Because it's an end. It's an end to it. Just like I say, just like your life. Everything comes to an end, right? But the way you go about living your life, the way you go about navigating through your movie, your book, however you look at it, don't give people so much power over it. Like I say, humans is the top of the food chain. Whether you think somebody better than you or not, you still the top of the food chain. It don't say this human is the top of the food chain. It don't say this dude is the top of the food chain, this girl is the top of the food chain, and that's it. It says humans is the top of the food chain. I really be trying to tell people, like, y'all have so much power than what y'all know. Y'all have so much power than what y'all know. We have, it's me too. Because I forget it. I got to get woken up all the time too. Like, we have so much power than what we know. But we don't live our life. Some people, like, people that's inspirational. Like one of my new pictures say in order to be inspirational, you gotta be different. To a certain extent. Don't have to be an extreme, right? Some people want to play it safe, they want to fit in, they want to fly under the radar, but they still want the accolades or the money or whatever that comes with being different. It don't work that way. It's not a cheat sheet to happiness. You know, in fact, I take that wrong. It is a cheat. It is a cheat. This is the secret. You want to know a secret to happiness? Inner peace and self-love. That's it. My opinion. Inner peace and self-love. You got inner peace and you got self-love. It's not too much people can say to you. Don't get me wrong. Just like that conversation that I had to have Friday, I get irritated when people feel so inclined to tell me their opinion. I get a little irritated, kind of like, damn, like, we look at life totally different. And I'm a person who, I talk to so many people. You know what I'm saying? You got them people that can talk to a bum off the street. Like, I will sit there and have a conversation with anybody, and I will learn from anybody I'm having a conversation with. But you got some people, like I said, you know, one of the supervisors I got at the time, you got some people that it's not as open. Like, it's not a two-line communication. They feel like they telling you something. And it's a hard pill to swallow for you to sit up there and talk to a person like me when it's like, I respect the hell out your opinion. And I'm happy you had that opinion. And like I said, I'm great that that's the way that your movie is going. But that's not what I want to do. And I sit up there and I tell you, like, you working, I'm looking you face in the face right now. If anything was to happen, the government say, we ain't sending no check. How much money you got sitting in your bank at this moment? The government be like, you know what, we drawing down. If you meet this quota, you been in this long, this, that, and the third, we kicking you out. How much of that do you have to control? This lovely work that you threw this what you made your life decision is to throw yourself into your work. What you have for somebody to take it away? You ain't got no control over what people take away. It's the same thing with your life. Like I said, this is my podcast. Regardless if I come on here and be like, I'm not doing another episode never again. I'm finna start a whole new podcast. Or you know what? I'm finna do a cooking channel on YouTube. I have control over all of that. Nobody's gonna come in and say, you know what? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I get feedback and I get suggestions and I love it. But nobody's gonna come in here and tell me, like, hey, change your podcast name to this. You know what? You need to talk about these topics. But this is how people did, and sometimes people tell me, like, I break it down. I never try to assault anybody's intelligence. That's why I call it overthinking understanding, because I feel like we know all this stuff. I done said it on so many episodes. Everything that I talk about, people already know. We just forget. Or we get so caught up in coping and existing with life that we forget to embrace life. We forget to understand, like, man, plot twist, I do die at the end of this movie. So what's going to be important? People, I can sit there I get lost in the days at the gym if I got too much on my mind. Like today, I'm sitting in the gym and I'm doing the weights. I start with the bar. I do 4 sets of 20. Then I put the 10s on. I do 4 sets of 20. And then I put the 5 pounds on. And I'm sitting over there like I'm pushing. I'm like, it don't feel like what it's supposed to. And like I was thinking, like I said, I was having a conversation with this young lady and thinking about life. And I sit there and I'm looking. I get up and there's no 5 pounds on the bar. Like it's no 5 pounds on the bar. And I'm like, that's why I felt like that. Like I could have sworn that I put this. I seen myself take the 5 pounds and put it on the bar. So I step back, I clean it. I clean the little workout equipment off and everything. And then I go to the stairs. I do 30 minutes on the stairs in my workout, right? And I'm sitting over there, like I'm shaking my head. I'm like, I know I ain't going crazy. I put these 5 pounds on the bar. I did that. I know I did that. And I'm sitting there working on the stairs. I'm doing my little workout on the stairs, and I'm like, I see the 5 pounds, and guess where I put them at? On the opposite bar. And I'm saying all that to say, like, even in that moment, I'm listening to the music, I'm texting this young lady, I'm keeping count of my reps and, you know, how many sets I'm doing, right? I forgot, or I wasn't paying attention enough that I put the weight on the wrong bar. So when you throw yourself into your work, and it's not, like I said, it's not a purpose to you, it's just your work, right? This is your work. You don't control it. You working hella good for somebody else. And it don't just have to be a job. You living your life the way somebody's telling you to live it. Think about all of the stuff that you really want to do that you're missing. And I got fur babies, right? I got 2 dogs. And every time I walk into the house and they not here to greet me, it suck, right? I can't imagine how people do that with their kids. A lot of people be like, I do my job like this because of my children. You giving your children the best life that you're able to give them? Don't give me that shit, that stuff where like they doing better than what I was doing. They, like I always tell people, them kids wasn't you. They don't know. They don't know that struggle that you've been through. You could try to teach them, but they still not gonna get it the way that you get it, because that's your life, that's your movie. These babies' movie. I was watching my homegirl live yesterday, and she was saying like I had did the episode about the gay agenda, like is it a gay agenda being pushed? That's the name of my last podcast, right? And she was like, you know, I don't want my kids to be exposed to that. And then her mama came in and it was like, you know, kids are gay from the start, is that and third, right? And then it was I forgot, I guess it's whoever the other dude was, right? And he was like, you know, your kids will start showing signs. It's up to you to control it. And this is what always makes me laugh. You know what I'm saying? All that to say, like I say, I feel like Jesus is the director of my movie. I'm an assistant director. Nobody else get the privileges to have director on the back of their seat, right? If I and you, like I say, whatever you believe in, Buddha, Jesus, yourself is a God, whatever you believe in, if you still do stuff to let yourself down, or I still sin and do stuff to let him down, how much power do you feel like people actually play in your life? And I think about stuff like this all the time. Like I say, my mom be gone, but I really be wanting parents, anybody, I be like, how much control? He can't even control you. Same people who be like, don't do this, this, that, and the third. Jesus gave you a choice to do what you want to do. And you really feel like you have so much control over another person. I made these kids. Like I said, he made us. I always tell myself, and I live by this philosophy. This is strongly my mindset. Whenever I get so up, or whenever I get so big on myself where something's happening, I feel like I shouldn't go through it. I always tell myself, like, you are no better than Jesus. Like, people ask me all the time, like, who I look up to. I never had a person that I looked up to but him. Because everything else in if this was the perfect being, and this is somebody that accept me no matter what the hell do I look like looking up to anything else but him? And I'm just saying, like, this is my opinion. This is my mindset on how I live my life. But that's the only person I done ever looked up to. Everybody else is faulting. I don't find no faults in him. I don't find no faults in him. I don't find no faults in the way that I go through our life. Every time I need him, like, he there. And like I say, I'm saying all this to say, you have power and control over your life. You have power and control over the decisions that you make. Decisions form habits, and habits create lifestyles. So a lot of times people be feeling like this is just the way that I am. I don't have no control over doing this. I've been like this. My mom was like this. You picked up bad habits. You picked up bad habits. Decisions came before those habits, but you so used to seeing these habits and doing these habits that you're not even thinking, but you picked up some bad habits. You at step 2. Because you got the decision, right? Like decisions, you make a decision to do something every day, go to the gym. It become a habit. And you going to the gym every day, eating right, it become a lifestyle. So decisions form habits, and habits form lifestyles. So when you sitting up there and somebody tell me like, man, my mom like this, my mama like this, my daddy like this, that, and the third. You done picked up some bad habits from people. But you got a decision. You have a choice. You can change it. You can decide, like, I don't want to do like that. Not saying it's easy by no means. I got plenty of them, right? If I say my podcast is not designed to make it seem like I'm perfect. Like I'm human. Everything that I talk about on this podcast, I could bring somebody else on here that's been with these situations, or that can attest to these situations that I be talking about. It's real life. Sometimes I probably talk too much on my podcast, but it's my outlet, you know? But you can't never sit up there and let nobody tell you how you supposed to live your life, or what are you supposed to do. And I get it all the time. Like, people text me, I called you. I text you, you ain't text me back. My bad, I was busy. It's quiet on the set. That's why I'm going to start quiet on the set. What that mean? If the director say quiet on the set, is the A. It ain't nothing need to be going on but what's going on in that scene. That means everything else is shh. So a lot of times in my life, I go quiet on the sets. I gotta talk. The assistant director gotta talk to the director. And I know that no matter how many people feel like they need my attention or they want my attention, it's not beneficial to me choosing. It's not beneficial to what I got going on. Or it doesn't stop me from choosing myself. And it's okay for you to go quiet on your set. People will drain you. Just like I say, I use the service because that's what I am. You could work and be the hardest worker for the service. Sometimes you get trophies. Sometimes you get a pat on the back. Sometimes you go get, that's your job, that's what you're supposed to do. You still gonna be drained. You still gonna be tired. You still gonna be feeling like, you know what, this shit ain't worth it. It's your decision. You could stay. You can let somebody else could control the way that you live your life. Long as one, like I say, if somebody was to tell, it's not nobody to tell you because don't nobody know, right? That's why I say, if I'm telling you like plot twist at the end of your movie, you die regardless. If you poured yourself into that job, if you let that job drain you, if you lived your life for your mama, if you lived your life for your mama, your daddy, your kids lived their life for you. You lived your life for a certain status. We all still die. We have no control over when we die. I said it on the episode when I was in Hawaii. This chick say she heard the quote that we pass our death anniversary every year. Because there's only 365 days in a year. Unless, leap year, then there's 66, and then you pass it every 4 years, whatever. But every year you're going to pass the day that you die. The day that you die. Like on that day, somebody is going to be celebrating the life that you might not never even got to live. Because working is not living. Depending on if you like your work, but then I feel like that's a purpose. You can like what you're doing. You got people that's doctors. You got some great doctors. They say that's their purpose. You got some amazing teachers. That's their purpose. Because anybody could come in and how can I say it? You go to school, you could be educated and be knowledgeable on how to be a doctor. If that's just your job, you could be the most knowledgeable, whatever doctor it is. But if that's just your job, eventually they'll come through. Just like life. If you really just live, that's why people, I try to say I don't like offending people, right? So I try to find the best way to say things. It's okay if you live your life that way, right? But I just feel like eventually, like, it comes out. And that's when you get the people who, when the reality hit, let's say like somebody die. Like that same lady, like somebody closer to home might pass. Or something happens to her and her whole world shatter. And then you get those people where their world came crashing down on them. because they was living in this illusion of, if I just throw myself into my work, if I just throw myself into this project, if I just give my all to this, then I'm going to get somewhere faster. You getting to death faster. I reached my goal. I love it when people tell me all the time, like, I'm in school. What you go to school for? How do you apply what you went to school for? It's going to be good for me when I get out the service. You talking about, damn, you only been in 10 years. You only been in 7 years. You only been in 5 years. It's going to be good when I get out. I'm going to get out with a degree. That's how long you holding it? And don't get me wrong, like, I'm big on patience. I'm not saying that, but that's how long you ain't using that degree at all. You went to school for these 4 years, 8 years, however long it took you, and you're not applying that at all. Because a degree is a degree. A degree is a degree, no matter how long it take you to get it, right? But you went and you did that, and you're not applying it to nothing that you got going on. Like I said, you sitting next to somebody with no degree. You might be listening to somebody. The person that you taking your financial advice from probably ain't got a lick of a degree, but they live in they purpose and they passion. They direct, they sit, and they hire and fire as they want to every day in their life. And you like, I got a degree though. How they so happy? They got peace. They got inner peace and self-love. Is it? I'm telling you, I feel like that is the key to happiness. Inner peace. Can't nobody mess with. When I tell you, like, I really can't make it up. I sit there and I have conversations with people all the time, and they talk, and I really just be, but are you happy? And what does that mean? That'd be my question to a lot of people that talk to me about some achievements that they made towards their job. It's like, are you happy, and what does that mean? And it's great, like I say, I think it's cool for people who get their degrees and they go on to get better jobs. It took my brother 8 years to get a degree. He got a fantastic job now. Same degree that my brother got, somebody sitting next to me making the same amount of money I do. And like I say, there's nothing wrong with it. I just do not believe you throw yourself into your work. I do not believe that you let somebody else direct your movie, because plot twist, we all die. So you do what you want to, and it's your time. Because everybody run into a finish line of death. And people be like, it's not that serious, but it's not that. It's not that serious, but it's very much that serious, and it's that simple. Like, you gonna die one day. Get up and live your life that's important to you, or to what's important to you. Not what somebody tell you important, not the steps somebody tell you to be making. Because just like how you can tell me somebody that made E7 in this many years, I could tell you somebody who made it in this many years. I could tell you somebody that set at this rank for that many. It don't matter. See, like, the purpose that I get, I watched my granny go through that situation, and I'm like, you didn't get what you were supposed to on your pension? So I now look at it like, all right, the goal is to be able to, regardless, I'm going to secure this check. So whatever I got to do to make it to these 20 years in the service, I'm going to do that the way I want to do. If that's 65 years in the reserves, if that's me switching and going active guard, if that's me buckling down, biting down, and just taking my time and doing whatever and staying in active duty, like, you can secure this check if all else fail. But like I say, yeah, I'm gonna say it like that, cause like I say, that's not guaranteed. The way that the money system work right now, who says 20 years from now it's gonna be working the same way? That's make-believe money. That's monopoly money. You get your 20, you do your 20 years. You go around that damn monopoly board 20 times, you collect your $200. I just don't believe in that like that. Like I said, just and I don't knock nobody. Like I said, I don't have a problem with people. I don't have a problem with people because I feel like I try to say it in the right way. A lot of people, you know, it is like I try to say it in the right way because a lot of people listen to my podcast. Like, for the people who tell me that they listen to my podcast, like, of course I know they listen to it. But it's other people that listen to it that don't tell me. or they tell me after the fact they listen to it. So like I said, I don't like causing friction or nothing. Like I had the same conversation with them, but I be trying to say stuff in a respectful way. Cause like I said, at the end of the day, like people listen to it, right? So I try to say it in the best ways. But it just doesn't compute to me. Like it just can't be processed in my brain to give something to somebody that they could take, or it's a gamble. Like if I'm a gamble with my life, like I don't gamble in real life, period, right? But I'm saying like if I'm a gamble with my life, I'm gonna bet it all on me every time. I'm not gonna bet it all on saying I get this 20 years and then these checks are gonna come. These checks are gonna come. I bet it on myself. Just like I said, I always, you watch people how you want to be, right? So I'll be watching these millionaires and stuff, and like this one guy, he say, the secret that the millionaires solve is making more money faster. Making more money faster. It's longevity, because still, like, if I pay you an installment to get up to a certain amount, if I give you a advance and I give you this amount in first until you got to live off of it. I want the guaranteed. And people can say, like, no, when they say, like, no, I just rather have this broke down like this. I'll take the guaranteed. Because that's what you're doing with your life. People will be like, no, I don't want the money up front. I take the, guaranteed this for the rest of my life. But that's how you live your life. A lot of people stay in their jobs, stay in their situations, letting somebody control their life so they can have somebody to blame. You taking the guaranteed. Because there's no guarantee that I say I'm getting off the service tomorrow at the end of this contract, right? So December 4th, 2022, I'm like, you know what? I ain't really listening. Like, it was a good run. I'm done with it. It's no guarantee that I could say my life was better. I don't get to see that. Like the big director, I'm assistant director, right? I only get to see the spots that what I get to see, right? So I can't say that. I never better say like my life would be better if I was in the service. Or no, get out. Your life is gonna be 10 times better. Only thing I get to see and get to know is that I'm okay with the decision that I make. So if I decide to stay in and get out, if I get out, I know like I'm cool with this decision. And I'm betting it all on myself. I tell people all the time, like, if you good in the service, because I feel like a lot of people get so caught up on being in the service, and they give the service so much, like, the service gave me this, and the service gave me that. It's people that didn't get to where you at. You gave yourself that. You navigated through the service. It's some people that didn't make it to specialist. It's some people that made the specialist that didn't make it to sergeant. Some people that made it to sergeant that didn't make it to so on and so forth. So the service ain't giving you nothing. You making that way. So that same confidence that you have in the service, put it on yourself and realize how limitless you are. And that's really what my mindset is right now when I talk to people. You want to do this, you want to do that. I keep telling y'all what I want to do. I don't know. And I'm okay with chilling. It bothers you. You such a good soldier. Yeah, it's cool. It bothers you that I'm okay with chilling. So in order to soothe you or to make it where you just stop down talking to me, I want to do this. I'm thinking about that. I tell people all the time, like, I don't let people make decisions for me because I won't be comfortable with them making that decision. Like, I sit back and I think to myself, like, I'm not comfortable with that. So no matter how long it takes for me to make my decision, I want to be calculated in the decision that I make. Like I say, because it's my movie. I'm directing this movie. When I die at the end of my movie, you ain't gonna be going that damn casket with me. People say this stuff all the time, but like I said, we forget it. Or we seem to put it in the back of our minds because we get so fixated on these small spots and these goals and these. It's like you can run as fast as possible to that finish line. You don't even know where your finish line at. And I feel like just to learn lesson, it didn't take me get cancer. It didn't take me get 20 years in the service. It didn't take me to get paralyzed. like the saying I said, and I say it all the time, like a smart person learns from their mistakes. A genius learns from everybody else's. It didn't take me that to sit there and absorb and to listen to people and understand that, you know what, baby, like, you have control of whatever you want to do in life. You are successful in life because of your faith and your works. You are successful. Ain't nobody gave you nothing. Nobody gave you nothing. Nobody gave you nothing. Even people who be like, I gave you a shot. They gave you a shot because what you did. Something in you told me give you a shot. You still had to possess it. And I'm big on it. I don't care what color you is. I ain't sitting up here black, white, brown. I speak life into everybody. When I say I believe everybody great, I believe it. Like I said on the last episode, they said, the quote, if you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, he'll go his whole life thinking he's stupid. And as people, sometimes we do that. We judge our abilities off somebody else's talents and gifts and skill. If you feel like you ain't good at nothing, if you done tried 10,000 things and you feel like you're not good at none of them, maybe 10,001 is where your breakthrough at. Or 11,003. You good at something, and that's exactly how I approach people. That's why I don't mind talking to any and everybody. So I don't make fun of people that may not be good at certain things I'm good at. That's why I don't get so down on myself when I'm not good at what somebody else is good at. I beat myself up about stuff that I want to do. Like, come on, man. Like, look, we need to get back on running. Like, I want this run for myself. I want a certain number in my bank accounts for myself. I want a certain amount of money in my stash spot for myself. Not for what nobody else telling me or telling me I should have. And I really mean it. Like, I be hoping, and like I said, I really be appreciating the feedback. Like, it's cool to see it, like somebody listening to what I be saying. And it's not just myself, you know? But I really mean it. Like, take back control of your set. And when people want to tell you how to direct your set, then you just listen. That's what I do. Don't get me wrong. Like, when I tell you, like, I was talking to this chick, I get irritated because I had some other stuff planned for the day. And you sat there to have this conversation that it could have been over the phone. Like I say, like, it's the Army. You got to deal with supervisors on supervisors. Like my grandma would say, you can endure anything for a little while. But when somebody feeling like they want to give you an opinion on their life, and everybody don't mean, like I say, some people project, they don't mean it in a bad way. Some people not even projecting, that's really what they believe. That's their mindset. That is the way that they movie lines and outline is written out for their movie. That is their business. That is their business. It don't have nothing to do with what you got going on. And I'm not telling people to be like me. I don't put my sights on people. Like I said, I don't look up to nobody. I got people that I care for and I love, and there's qualities that I take from people. But just to look up to somebody and be like, that's my role model, no, Jesus is that. Every temptation, and you, like I say, though, it's mind-blowing. People that don't believe in God, like, I'm not knocking it. Like I said, even as a book, this man died at 33 for people who didn't believe in him. You talking about this dude died at 33, and the same 12 people who've been watching him raise people from the dead and do this, that, and the third, that they turned their back on him? Well, I ain't gonna say everybody, right? But let's say Peter. 3 times, and this man still got up on that cross and died? You talking about there wasn't no temptation he gave into? He died at 33? Dang. That's what I set my mind on. I listen to that Bible faithfully. Faithfully. And I'm not telling you to live like that, but set yourself. That's why I don't trip on people who say that they sells like animals and stuff like that. That's why my logo, I'm fascinated with eagles. Fascinated with them. Anything that's freedom. Anything that somebody feels like it's in order to trap it or to have it on the wall is like an accomplishment. Ain't nobody out here trying to trap no regular pigeons or put that on their mantle. I don't see ain't nobody up here trying to trap no crows. And it's the same way with people. People can got all these it could be a pretty clean bird. If it's a dime a dozen, people ain't worried about it. And people work, and we work the same way. I done seen that movie before. Nah, it's a different movie. Halloween just passed, Christmas coming up. It's 10,000 movie scripts. Different type, same theme, different movies, different actors, right? But it's the same thing. You done seen this movie before. So don't let nobody tell you how to live your life. We done seen, sir, I seen that movie before. Ma'am, I seen that movie. I'm proud. Congratulations that you made it to the rank you did. I seen this movie before. It worked out good for some people. It don't work out good for some people. I would not put my this can be taken away from me at any moment. I could decide to walk away at any moment. So if I'm gonna throw myself into some work, I'm gonna throw myself into editing. I'm gonna throw myself into building up on the skill. I'm gonna throw myself into building for myself. You ain't gotta throw yourself up into working for no job. Perform everything to the best of your abilities, but don't let it cost you your sanity, because you are the most important thing that you have. Regardless if you got kids, a husband, or anything, you, like I say, it's me and Jesus. That is it. As much as I love my family, as much as I love, like I said, the people I've met throughout my life, I have shared the scene with some beautiful souls, right? It's still my movie. And it's still your movie. It's your choice. Plot twist. Plot twist. Because some people feel like we could beat it. Or some people feel like that the finish line not gonna feel the same if they make these situations. If I do this and I do this and I do this and I make this money and I drive this car, like I see people, you gotta, and I gotta say everybody live different. You got this salary job and you like, I'm gonna drive. Some people be like, I'm gonna drive my dream car. Some people like, I'm not buying a car, I'm a lease. I want a new car every year. You got people like me that be like, you know what? When I buy my dream car, I want it to be cash. I'm taking it. It ain't even got to be brand new. The model and the make that I want, I just want it to be cash. I don't want to pay a car note for not another car again in my life. It's your movie. Direct it. Direct it how you see put. And definitely, make sure y'all hear me for this. The extras are extras. Stop taking the extras into seeing the extras ain't supposed to be in. If they are extra, they is there for bodies. You got some people that come into your life that be on some, like I say, nothing against the lady that supervises me now. I done had some supervisors I care for. I had some supervisors that I don't care for. They just extras. The people that move you, make them your main characters in your movie, your book, however you want to see it. Whatever makes you stick to this lesson. Take them and you make them your main character. But them extras, let they ass be extras. You got a relationship that didn't work out, that's an extra. That's it. You can cut them out the movie. It's not gonna hurt nothing. You got a job, you got a situation that you thought was supposed to work out and it didn't. Okay, it's an extra. That's a bad prop. That's a malfunction. It's your movie. You can control your life. You can control your life. You control your happiness and your inner peace. I'll tell you, like, my podcast is never going to switch from that. I'm a firm believer into preaching life. I don't want to say preaching, speaking life into people. I'm a firm believer. Like, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a mindset speaker. Motivation is good. Motivation wears off. This mindset, regardless if I feel like it or not, this mindset is dead. That is a part. That is me. This is the way that I see the world. Motivation don't have nothing to do with it. I'm motivated to go sit on the couch and binge watch a TV show, eating some chips and dip, I feel like this my purpose though. This my mindset, like first things first. And your first things first, the way that you want to stack your scenes up, the way you want your movie to flow. Like I say, people can tell me, make this ranking, do it. Man, y'all ass miserable. And the money ain't worth it. That ain't the only way I could get the money either, don't get me wrong. But you stack your movie up the way that you want it to go. I'm still collecting a paycheck. I'm still working on those 20 years. It is your movie. Plot twist, we all die. You don't know when you gonna die. You don't know how you gonna die. Some people get so fixated over death and don't think about life. Or they think so much about life that they hyperfixate on something and they be like, I can control this aspect. And that's what I feel like a lot of people do when they throw themselves into work. I could control this work. You controlling the hell out that work. And your kids passing you by, your husband, your wife, whatever, significant other, your dog, we got all types of stuff going on in the world now. Life is passing you by, and you was fixated on controlling this one project that don't have nothing to do with your purpose. A lot of people don't have a purpose. A lot of people movie don't have a title on it. And I ain't saying like it's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying a lot of people chapters are not titled. Some people just be doing stuff, and they want you to join them and just doing stuff. It's your movie. Everybody die. That's the only thing we know about everybody movie. As of right now, we all die. It's only one person that beat it. It's another reason I look up to Jesus. Oh, y'all done did. Ain't nobody came back and I take him. That's who I look up to. Ain't nobody else beat life and done came back and talk. I take him. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple people in the Bible that he rose from the dead. I'm just talking about everything that he did. I'm going to take him. I'll take him to look up to. Aspire to be like. I'm telling you, like, people get... Do I want to say that? Because she listens to my podcast, too. I'll be honest on this show. I was talking to a chick, and I asked her, like, what do you like? Like, do you like this, you like that, or you just like flirting? Well, I ain't never been with this. I'm curious, and yeah, I'm a flirt. I appreciate your honesty. And if you're curious and you want to try it, that's your business. I can't tell you not to. People go tell you how you live. They, like I say, Jesus. And I'm just talking about the people who do believe in Jesus. And whatever you believe in. If he can't control what you're doing, do you really go sit there and let a person control what you got going on? That barely controlling what they got going on? If you don't understand how your life going and you don't have a clear vision, and like I say, it's quiet on the set. Because at the end of the day, I'm at the point where I don't want to talk to people I can't say that don't see the world the same as me, because you want to talk to people that see the world different. That's how you continue to grow. But it's on some negative stuff, like where I'm not going, you're not going, my mind's just not in that place no more. I don't watch people work their whole life and that's not the end result they got. I don't want to talk to you about that. You're a great person that's doing a great job on your movie. But we going in two different directions. That ain't what I want to do. You can't tell me throw my life into my work and it's going to be worth it in the end. You a damn lie. I could throw your life, throw your life into your passion, throw your life into your dream, whatever. I say purpose. I don't even say passion, because I don't believe you throw yourself into anything with emotion, because emotion is just temporary. Just like this precious life we have, right? It's temporary. I believe a purpose and a legacy will supersede. It's so much more than that after you die. I'm not saying that when you die, you die a soldier, or you die the best manager that your job ever seen, that people don't remember you. I'm talking about legacies that leave a stamp on the world. I'm talking about kids who know Biggie and Tupac word for word that was just born. And it's so many. I'm talking about actresses and actors and scientists that people thought was crazy when they lived. I'm talking about how Jesus walk around regardless how many years we passed that man death and rising. I'm talking about legacies that stamp. Work don't get put in there. They put in the work into their purpose, into their legacy, but not no. I'm not talking about the people who name on the bottom of it that he was a great manager. They was a great soldier. And even some of the soldiers, like you got all type of awards, all type of your name. Some legacies live past some soldiers, but it's a lot of us where it all gets scooped up and get pushed to the side. Unless you stand out, you be different. So even if your movie is similar to somebody else's, something in your movie make your movie special. Something in your movie make it a little bit different. It's 10,000 water bottle brands. It's 10,000 people doing lashes, hairs. 10,000 anything that you can think of. The person that you go to, it's a reason that you choosing it. And that's exactly, I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna end it like that. That's exactly how I be wanting people to write their movie. Do your movie. It's 10,000 people that's doing the same thing that you're doing. Make yours just a little bit different. And I'm not saying that you can't take from everybody, because you can, and it can still be your movie. You could share scenes with people, but I'm just saying, don't let nobody direct your life. Don't let nobody sit there and direct your life and tell you when you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to go. Don't let nobody tell you that it's a competition, because we all die. You ain't competing with nobody. We is not making it to the finish line at the same time. Plot twist. We die, we don't know when we die. Rest in peace, King Von. Rest in peace, Mo Street. They didn't know they was going to die on them days. King Von death anniversary just passed. Mo 3 anniversary coming up on Veterans Day. You think they know they was going to die? No. They probably wouldn't have went outside. So you ain't in competition with nobody. When I tell you my brain you can't tell me how I'm in competition with somebody. We don't know when these fools going to die. And trying to be in competition with somebody, y'all death day might be on the same day. I'm trying to do what they doing, and y'all might suffer the same fate at the same time. Stay on your set. Stay on your budget is endless for your movie. You can do whatever you want, do your movie however you want. It is your movie. It is no reason for you to be, and like I said, inspiration, take from people, learn from everybody. I'm not saying that. But direct your movie how you see fit. Feel comfortable in your decision. Be content. Have peace in your decision on how you directing your movie. I'm going to end it like that, though. Like, plot twist, we all die. Plot twist, and it's not this episode, because one of the females I talked to, she always say, like, don't make your podcast episode so heavy. Like, make a fun one to do this and the third. And I'm telling you, I'm working on. I don't mean for it to be heavy. And like I said, I'm such a big person on self-reflection, and I have these talks with myself all the time that these conversations not heavy to me no more. Like, I feel like it should be normalized to have these conversations and just not be heavy, and it don't have to be as deep. Like, it's not that serious. It's not. It's really that simple. It don't have, like, I don't want it to be so deep, because we don't talk about it and we don't discuss it, and we live in a world that's so blinded by the entertainment, or trying to cope with not actually trying to cope with stuff instead of handling it, that when you hear my podcast you feel like it's deep. And I really don't try to make it like that. Like, I promise, I just try, when I tell you, like, I try to be transparent and be like I'm human. That's exactly how I want my podcast to be. Like, well, I'm just like you. But like I said, I'm going to end it like that. Plot twist, we all die. Direct your movie the way that you want to. I'm Victoria Moore. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Overthinking Understanding.